here to complain about the situation. Let's make some noise for concerned citizen Marcus Farkus, everybody.
Thank you so much, Chris, although I didn't appreciate all the abortion talk earlier. Some of us don't like our comedy political, we like it boring. It's what I've learned from watching CBS. And to the band, a little loud. You could learn a thing or two from Joan Baez. So I'm Marcus Farkus, visiting from out of town. I'm from right outside the Twin Cities, close to the St. Paul side. My grandson is actually the starting quarterback at the local high school. Go Fighting Junipers! And I wanted to come here because my wife and I wanted to take a trip to Chicago because we heard such lovely things on Fox News about it. This place is such a war zone, what with the parks and public works of art. Is this Chicago or Kiev, Ukraine? I can't tell. Any hoozles. My wife and I are staying at the Congress Plaza Hotel downtown because we heard it was haunted. We love the ghost stories and such. And we also heard it was once owned by Al Capone. And as wholesome Midwestern Christian folks, we love learning more about murderous thugs. We may be against gay marriage, but we think Al Capone is a real cool guy. Heard he used to come here, too, in this bar. Great to share space with someone we bought a shirt of at the O'Hare Airport. Who used to threaten people's family members. Yep, that's what I like, me, a Midwestern dipshit. Now, I gotta complain about your city, first things first. We get on the blue line coming in from O'Hare there. And what do we see? But right off the bat, a fella masturbating while staring at us. What's that about? Which, not that I haven't seen a fella masturbate before, just not in public. I was in a frat with George W. Bush, after all. How else are we supposed to get into the Skull Society? Any hoozles? Now we're downtown at the hotel. We're thinking, okay, now is the time to rest and forget about seeing a fella masturbate. But we can't even nap because of all the racket coming from across the street. So I says to the guy at the front desk, I says, what's all the hullabaloo over there? And he says, oh, that's Lollapalooza. I says, no, I said hullabaloo. He says, yeah, I know, it's Lollapalooza. I says, listen, fella, I don't know how you Chicagoans talk down here, but in the Twin Cities, when someone's causing a ruckus, we call it hullabaloo. So eventually, after this odd bit and Costello bit was finished, he said, no, it's a festival called Lollapalooza. I says, Lollapalooza? Is it a music festival or a Polish guy? Guess I'll leave the comedy to you guys. Why don't do the roast battles and the stand-up? So I said, well, I didn't know this was going on downtown. I'd like to file a complaint. He says, well, the manager's not in right now, but you can go to a show called the Paper Machete and complain there. So I says, what's that? He says, it's a current event news comedy show. And I says, well, if it's anything like Gutfeld, I'm in. I don't know if you all know Gutfeld, but it's this great show where a guy tells jokes that fall flat on a nightly basis. It's like if Bill Maher didn't pay his crowd to clap. That's Gutfeld, and my wife and I love both those guys because they tell it how it is. Any hoozles, I says to the guy, I says, I'll go complain at the Paper Machete, but I want to do it in a 4 to 6 minute essay format. But what are the odds they do that there? He says, it's just your lucky day, fellas. That's exactly what they do there. So I come on down here and didn't realize it was going to be a liberal circle jerk. But this is where the concierge sent me to complain, so by gosh, I'm going to do it. So first off, my complaints about Lollapalooza is, of course, the name. Secondly, the way the kids are dressed. I mean, the guy's got the NBA throwback jerseys of obscure players. I says, man, I haven't thought about LaFonso Ellis in 20 years. And I said that knowing full well the Paper Machete crowd wouldn't get it. But for those who did get it, what a reference it was. And so then I see the high school girls dressed the way they are. I says, do your parents know you're out here dressed like this? What, with the booty cheeks sticking out of the jeans? And this girl, I say this to her, she shot me an angry glare. It's the same angry glare you get from a Monsanto executive when you refuse to sell your farm. Do you guys know Monsanto? Evil company. I guess all the NPR funding getting cut made your crowd dumber, Chris. I guess I do roasts. Put me on Kill Tony. And then the noise, my goodness. I mean, what happened to the days of Carole King? I mean, the wife and I, we had a great time at a concert with none of the yelling or the loud music. It was a comedy show, actually. We saw Paula Poundstone at the St. Paul Palace Pavilion. Which, that's a whole lot of peas. Sounds like my dinner. It's meatloaf, carrots, and a whole lot of peas. I tell you, my wife Marie, great cook. And I'm not saying I wasn't young once and got a little wild like the kids at Lollapalooza do. Why, back in the 80s, did I let Prince have sex with my wife while I watched Jackie off in a corner? You betcha. But we were from the Twin Cities. That's like sales tax there. You have to let Prince nail your wife while you watch. It's a rite of passage. They call it a Minneapolis bar mitzvah. I can't imagine anything that will change my mind on how I feel about Lollapalooza.
Oh, come on, wait, hold on. I think I got something that might change your mind.
Oh, I don't know, but you can try.
Are you ready?
Got my driver's license.
This is making me think of my wife, Marie. This song is so beautiful, it's making me be okay with gay marriage and realize Fox News is a scam. I know my friends aren't gonna like me, and if they want to hurt me, go right ahead if it makes them feel any better. They're right, I talk too much. I also listen too much. I can be a cold-hearted cynic like them, but I don't like to hurt people's feelings. They can think what they want about me. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get. I have to be honest with you all. I don't have a home. Not in Chicago on vacation. Marie's been dead for 8 years. And at this point, for those who don't know what's going on, that was a long-ass reference to planes, trains, and automobiles. Quite a long walk. Well, hopefully I can find a way to get to Steve Martin's place for Thanksgiving. And thank you to Olivia Rodrigo for showing me the light, specifically the red lights, the stop signs, and all the places I can't go because I still fucking love you. Aw? There is one line left, but it wasn't even funny, so I'll just leave on this person having sympathy for me. All right. Hopefully I get to go to your house for Thanksgiving.
Concerned citizen Marcus Farkus, ladies and gentlemen. Created and played for the Paper Machete by our hilarious friend, Joe Fernandez! Give it a Joe!